Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap market analysis and trade level setup for Wednesday, October the 16th, 2013. One day before your government defaults and hits their debt ceiling. But that's a whole nother story we'll talk about in just a few minutes. If you're joining us new from Twitter as a guest, we are Quantum Leap. We're a self-organized learning environment. My name's Doug McKay. I'm one of the founders and lead moderators. If you want to come in and check out the room, we have been around in one form or another for about 4 years now. You'll need a Skype account. Our chat is a Skype chat, and you can send me a contact request at Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada, or you can send me an email at dm@m4connects.com, or give me a call on my office line at 519-250-5530. Find out what we're all about. Let's get the legals out of the way. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand their knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures or any instrument involves the risk of loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to your financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please do your own due diligence and trade your plan, not mine. Okay, so obviously, we've got the market holding up into the 1700s. I'm very seriously thinking of taking my swing trade down. I'm going to make that decision today. I currently have a Theo average at 1764.75, and I believe that the way the market is held up with this uncertainty going into the debt ceiling, that when we do get the news that there's some type of a deal or some type of resolution, we're going to get a pop. I don't think it's going to be sustainable, but I think we're going to get a pop. Therefore, I think my current stop is at 1628.25, and I don't think it's going to hold. So that's a decision I'm going to try to make today and pull it down. Now, of course, we're getting ready for trading. So the first thing we do in here each morning when we get together is we go through our numbers. We look at the macro to the micro. Then we look at our charts, macro to micro, for trends. So if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, you might want to skip ahead to the more in-depth analysis. But we go through a morning routine in order to prepare ourselves for trading. Of course, my trading rules don't allow me to trade live today. I've been away from the market since last Thursday, and therefore I have to wait 2 days before I get back into trading. So I won't be trading live, but I will be doing market analysis in the live room today, and I will be simming. Anyway, our Globex, our global numbers, macro, our year open 1443, our year high 1726.75, year low we're nowhere near that. Our month opened at 1678.50. We have a high this month of 1709. You can see that we're slowly creeping up to that prior number for the year high and the all-time high at 1726.75. Our month low 1640. Our previous month open 1640.25. That previous month high is our all-time high and our year high at 1726.75. Our previous month low 1630.75, and we closed last month at 1678.75, and we're trading way above that right now. Our week opened on Sunday in Globex at 1684. We have a week high of 1709.75. A week low 1680.75. When our previous week opened 1676.75. The high 1700.25. We low 1640, and we closed at 17, and we're above all of those numbers last week. So we're trading in up above last week's highs. Quarter doesn't change, so we'll just go right into the Globex. Yesterday's Globex opened at 1706.25. had a high of 1709.75, a low of 1697.25, and we opened yesterday's RTH session at 1700. And you can see that we're slowly creeping and value is increasing. We had an open auction in range. We broke the IB on both sides, so we had a neutral day. Something to keep an eye on. If they don't have a resolution today, I'm anticipating a possibility of a neutral day following a neutral day. Our opening swing high 1702, opening swing low 1697.75 for a 5.25 point opening swing. First clue was the wide opening swing yesterday that you're going to end up with a neutral or rotational day. Initial balance high 1703.75, initial balance low 1695 for an 8.75 point initial balance. Our 1230 number was 1699. Our RTH high was 1706.50, RTH low 1689.50, and we closed at 1692.25. Our VPOC was 1699.50. Range yesterday, RTH 17, full session 20.25, Globex 12.5. Full session high 1709.75, full session low 1689.50. You can see that we're trending up on that right now. Our RTH range 20-day 16.25 for the RTH, just over 19.25 for the full session, and just under 10 for the Globex. We opened up the Globex last night 1694.25. Had a European cash close yesterday at 10:30. All numbers in here are Central Time at 1704.75. Value area high 1703.50. Value area low 1695. And again, these numbers, slowly are creeping up. Our value area range at 8.5. We broke the IB to the high side inside the pocket at 9:32 Central. Our extended session high 1697.50, extended session low 1691.25, and we closed at 1694.75. And our extended session range 6.25, which was one of the largest ranges that we've had in the extended session, going back to 0710. So they're doing a lot of work in the Globex again, and you'll see that in the overnight numbers. Volume remains strong at 1.5 for the RTH, 1.8 for full session. Going over to the daily report, the big number below us is still that 1678.50, which is the composite, the 2013 VPOC. Of course, above us right now, the number you want to keep your eye on is 1717.75, that's CHVN. And of course, 1723.75 is the RTH high, and 1726.75 is the full session high and the all-time high. Looking at the naked crosses, we didn't take any out yesterday. We did add a naked VPOC at 1699.50. There's a couple naked crosses that showed up overnight. We had Canadian manufacturing sales this morning at 7:30. We have NAHB housing market index at 9, crude at 9:30, beige book. But again, the big news is whether or not they go into tomorrow with no resolution for the debt ceiling. So let's take a look at the macro to micro charts. The monthly chart, very strong, still got a great trend going on, good slope and separation on the 9 EMA and the 20 SMA. We're trading in the upper distribution of last month, so the monthly trend is still very strong. On the weekly, we came down, we closed below the 20 SMA for the first time several weeks ago, came back down last week and tried to get back below it, and we popped back up, and now we're trading above the 9 and the 20, and we've got slope and separation again. Possible head and shoulder pattern showing up, but the more we spend it up here, the more I'm convinced that we're going to see a new high above 1726.75 as soon as they get some resolution to this problem they have. In the daily, we're consolidating in the 1700 area. We came down, closed and traded below the 9 and the 20. It looks like, looked like there was weakness coming into this market, and then we had a very powerful pop, and we're trading above the 9 and the 20. We do have a naked cross down here at the 1686 level. The one that we were watching on the daily was taken out. A naked cross is a study that I've been doing for several years now, and it's when the 9 EMA crosses the 20 SMA and price moves away from the cross and leaves it unauctioned. And we watch it on the 5, the 15, and the 30 minute for intraday, but I also watch it on other time frames. We still have the one down here, down at that 1612 area, which we'll talk about when we get to the composite chart. We're also putting one in now at that 1686 level. And the market has a very high probability of going back and re-auctioning. As you can see, we went up, left the cross, came down, and now we've taken the cross out and we've moved away from it again. So very, much consolidation on the daily, but we are seeing strength in the marketplace, and we're trading above the 9 and the 20. Last week, we had a lot of conversations looking at the geometric chart. The fact that we had this energy point up here at the 1607, 1608 area, and we were debating whether or not, I think we were talking about it when we were down in these 2 days, whether or not we had enough time to come up here. And Monday was the date that we were scheduled to hit this energy point, and we were wondering whether or not we would have enough ATRs in order to go and take it out. All we needed was one big day, which we got, and of course we did take out the energy point. We're currently trading at the upper line of the downward sloping fork and the center line of the modified shift fork that we added a couple weeks ago. If we stay below this, I'd be looking to come down and hit this energy point down here in that 1671 and a quarter area. If we get above it, then we're going to get above the long-term center line, and I'd be looking for a move up to test the upper line of the long-term fork and possibly even the modified shift fork. We do have a energy point right here, which we can add in now. That's coming up in the near future as a possibility up in the 1800s. So now we were watching that 1779, 1780 area. Now I'm thinking that we could even pop higher and go and touch the 1800s, possibly do a rule of 10 at 1810 and hit this energy point up here at 1809. But all in all, it's looking pretty strong, not seeing a lot of weakness. Let's go take a look at the intraday. Four hours looking very strong, good slope and separation, so definitely looking strong. Got a naked cross down here at 1660, but I don't think it's going to be something that's going to come into play anytime in the next few days. Going down to the 30-minute chart, we had a big tech gap, came down, closed that tech gap, went sideways. We've been consolidating sideways. Now we've popped back up in the last hour and a half. We've got a naked cross right here at 1699.75 on the 30-minute. So we'll add that onto our chart for reference. Going over to the composite. Now we came down to that level we were watching at 1647, pushed through it, got down to 1640 area, just below the 1640 CHVN, and then found buyers. They popped it back up, came back up into this 1676.50, 1678.50 composite VPOC, most traded price in 2013, into this area of undetermined fair value. between what was the composite VPOC at 75, also 80 and a quarter. We now come in between and created the composite VPOC at 1678. But this is still undetermined fair value, and they launched from there. They came back up into the 1691.75 and 1695. 1695.25 was the microcomposite VPOC, where we tried to hold value after going and making that first all-time new high. This was 1705 adjusted to the September contract, 1698.50, but they tried to hold value there at 1695 and a quarter before they fell out of value and came down and picked up buyers for the next run up, where we went and made that all-time high. Now they're back up and holding value above the 1695.75 or 1695.50, the current microcomposite VPOC. The value area high here is 1704.25, value area low 1692. The key number to keep your eye on is 1701 and a quarter, the CLVN here. If we get below that, then we're likely to rotate back down to the microcomposite VPOC at 1695.50 and test the other side of balance, which is that 9150 CLVN, which was the microcomposite VPOC when we were trying to hold value before we came down into this area of undetermined fair value. It's looking strong. I mean, all I can say is if we get above 1706 and a quarter, I'm looking for 1710, 1709 CHVN, but 1710 is the CLVN and the rule of 10. And then above us, the big number is 1775, which is the the microcomposite VPOC, as we tried to hold value after making the all-time high. 1723.75 is the all-time high in the RTH. Of course, in the Globex, we have a higher all-time high at 1726.75. That's the key number above us, and get equalization between the Globex traders and the RTH traders. And then above, the measured move is 1779, 1780, but we don't have anything in the composite to guide us on that. If we get below the 1691.50, I'd be looking for a rotation to 1688 and 1684.75, but the big number below us is 1678.50. In this area, of an undetermined fair value at 80 and a quarter, 78.50, 75, and 76.50. With the other side of balance being that key line in the sand for the bulls at 1665.75. Below that, I think we go down and test that 1649. Sorry, test that 1649.50 area again, but that's way below us. Let's go take a look at the overnight. The overnight numbers, move them over to our trading chart for the day. We have a overnight high at 1706.50, which was our RTH high yesterday. We have an overnight low 1691 and a quarter, just above that 1691.50. CHVN. And I don't think our VPOC is going to shift. It's going to be at 1699. So just below yesterday's VPOC at 1699.50. My trade areas for the day, obviously, is going to be the 1706.50. That's just above this CLVN at 1706 and a quarter, and the overnight high and the range high for yesterday, with a move to go up and test that 1710 if we get above it. We're currently trading 1702.75, value area high for yesterday, 1703. So 0350 or 0375? 0350. We have a LVN from yesterday at 1704 1/4. That will be another area that I'll be looking to do business. If we get above the value area high and come and test this LVN and break above, then I'd be looking for a move to 1705 and then the test of the range high and take out the overnight. Below us we have a LVN at 1696.50. That will be another area that I'll be doing business with. If we break below and move down to that 1695.50 and get into the lower distribution from yesterday, and the gap for the close of the gap is going to be 1692 1/4. So obviously, we're 10 points above, so we got a 10-point gap, which means watch for initiative buyers stepping in here and going up and testing the 1706.75. I think that's the higher likelihood if we can break out of yesterday's value area at 1703.50. But if we do get if we stay in this area and we don't get initiative buyers stepping in, we can't get above the LVN, then I'd be looking for a move back towards the overnight VPOC and the naked VPOC from yesterday at 1699.50 and 1699 with a test of that LVN and 1695.50 microcomposite. We get below that, then I'd be looking for a move down to close the gap and possibly come down, test this overnight low. We've got the range low from yesterday at 1689.50 with the naked VPOC from Monday down here, and we had a triple distribution day on Monday, and we're likely to come down and test this level in the next couple sessions. I will be using the 1689.50 as a trade area as well. In between here, it's going to be a lot of rotation, so just be careful. Looking at the Keltner, center line is 1699 1/4. That'll bring us down to take out the naked VPOC and the overnight VPOC. If we get below that, the Keltner lower line is 1693.75, and if we stay above it, 1704.75, which is right at that LVN and just above the value area high. Value area low is 1695, right at the that CHVN and former microcomposite VPOC at 1695.50 area. Take a quick look at gold. We've come down, we've fallen out of this balance that we were, trading in around that 1318. We, got a little bit lower than the 1284.90 former microcomposite where we picked up buyers last time. If you remember, go back to the videos from last week. I said if we came back down here, we've already been down here to pick up buyers once, we weren't likely to hold it, and we talked about that, the 1250 area. We got as low as 1251. That's just below the CLVN at 1251.60, and we've rotated back up into this distribution zone around the 1280 area, and we're currently trading 1277.40. Other side of the balance up here is 1288.20 and 1300. Centennial number 1304.30, and then the target above is at 1318 with 1324 just above. If we don't hold in this area, then I'd be looking for a move down to test the range low of the microcomposite at 1251 and that CLVN 1251.20 with 1248.80 CHVN just below us, and then the larger number to watch for is obviously the 1200, test of the 1200. I think that's a big psychological area. If we break 1200, I think we're going to see much lower prices in gold coming in the near future. But my anticipation is that we hold this 1250 area and we chop around the 1280 area a little bit longer as we battle this and mature the composite in this area. So that's what I'm looking at for gold. Howard, over to you.
Thank you, Doug. We'll just start with the monthly chart. This white line represents that 20-year fork line, and this month we came very close to touching it. We've had 4 other touches in prior months, so that so far has been a good point of resistance. But of course, the more times we touch it, the weaker it gets. So we have a half month yet to play out, so that'll be an important level to watch out for. Quick peek at the week. So far this week, the 9 EMA has held as support. We can see that from our high of the year at 1726.75, we came all the way down to 1640, and then last week we started getting some very strong buying coming in. We formed this body is probably a little too large to call it a hammer, but very strong buying came in. We did have a gap down at the beginning of this week based on the congressional debates going on, but we've since come up and made a higher high. So this 9 EMA support around the 1684 level is going to be a key level on the weekly. Going to the daily. We have now seen the 9 EMA cross above the 20 SMA, so we have a naked cross down here at about 1686.75. The 9 EMA is holding as support since we broke above it back here on the 10th. We've had a couple of touches with rejection. We haven't quite touched today, but looks like it came relatively close. So that's an important level on the day down here at about the 1688 to 89 area. So looking at market breadth, with the down day yesterday, our advanced decline and our up-down volume, they all went back below the midpoint of 50%. Sorry, I had to mute myself for a little sneeze. So we're back below the 50% level, meaning there's more net decliners, more net down volume on a 10-day average basis. So, we have the 20 SMA and the 9 EMA below. This is actually a SPY of a chart of the SPY. So we have, good support with the moving averages below. So it'll be key to see how these advanced decline and up-down volume indicators behave over the next couple of sessions, whether we've possibly completed a retrace and are headed back lower, or we're just regrouping and will show more strength overall in the market over those next few sessions. So now let's look at the sectors. Looks like we had, broad acceptance of the sectors of yesterday's price action to the downside. Looks like it's unanimous among all the sectors. Dow Transports versus Industrials. No changes here. Finally, we'll take a look at the on-balance volume. And looks like on-balance volume is also in sync with price here. So those are the key levels. With that, Doug, turn it back over to you. We'll see if we get a COT report at the end of the week or not. We have not gotten any updates for the last 2 Fridays, so nothing to really go by on the COT report until we open up the government and start getting those reports redistributed. So back to you, Doug.
How convenient is that, eh? Trade it blind. So, just a closing note here. I mean, I think the real key level right now is this 1704. We've got, now, just over a 10-point move. If early on in the RTH we don't break the 1704 and a quarter, then I think we get rotation back down towards the 1699 naked VPOC. Overnight VPOC and back into this upper balance. I've drawn in the naked crosses. There's one at 1699.75, and then there's 2 down here at 95 and a quarter and 94.75. So, again, I think if we see initiative buyers coming in, they'll come in and break the 1704 really quickly and move up to test that 1706. And you can see that 1706 area is our microcomposite range high. We had a high on the 14th at 1706, and then yesterday's high at 1706.50, and the CLVN, and I think above that you're going to see a quick pop to 1710. So, again, look for initiative buyers stepping in right on the open and testing this 04 and a quarter. If they get above, they'll likely to see a move right up to 1706.50, and then if they break that, a move right up to 10. If you don't see initiative buyers stepping in, then I'd expect rotation and a move back into balance down at the 1699.75 and a test of the 1695.50 microcomposite balance and that LVN below us. We've got a couple naked crosses. The value area low is there as well at 95. So really define yourself around 95 area and 1704 area. Inside's going to be a lot of chop. So just be careful in this area. As always, that will complete our morning market analysis and trade level setups. Trade well, trade safe, and we will catch you on the flip side.